Hi, welcome to my podcast, Talking Travel with Wendy. I travel the globe interviewing really cool people in small hospitality and tourism businesses. Join me each week as I discover and share something or someone new with you. You can find more at www.travelwithwendy.net. And remember, it's always an adventure when you travel with Wendy. So you're moving to Huntsville. Well, welcome to Alabama. We've lived in Huntsville for almost 20 years on and off, and here's my podcast to hopefully help newbies coming in and maybe highlighting things for homesteaders too. We're a military family, and this podcast is recorded from my perspective of coming into Huntsville years ago and making this our home. The Rocket City is filled with so many treasures, from world-class botanical gardens to the Space and Rocket Center and everything in between. It truly is a hidden treasure with a bunch to explore in and around North Alabama. This podcast is the first in a series that I'll talk about the benefits and some of the challenges of moving to this great city and state. So here we go. Whether you're moving to Huntsville for the military on Redstone Arsenal or moving here for one of the many companies that are helping grow our city, like Google, Facebook, Toyota, Huntsville is growing in leaps and bounds. If you have a family with children, one of the first questions you will ask is, how are the schools in Huntsville? On average, the schools in and around Huntsville score above state average for testing and math scores. They have excellent sports and arts programs and compete nationally for many events. Personally, I homeschooled our children during their middle school years, and I think the homeschooling community in Alabama is amazing and super supportive. To homeschool in the state of Alabama, you must be under a school umbrella. There's more information in my blog and on my website too. Some of the school covers are faith-based and others are a national online school. For more information, you'll want to visit the Homeschool Legal Defense Association, or HSLDA. This is a website where they are wonderful advocates and support for the local homeschooling family. We were members for all 3 years. Our children also attended magnet schools for high school at Lee High School for the arts and music, and they thrived. There are different magnet schools in the Huntsville City District. New Century Technology School is ranked 156 in the nation for schools overall and 48 for all magnet schools nationwide. There are also several private schools in Huntsville and have very competitive college-ready sports programs if you have school-age children. I highly suggest you research schools that best meet your needs. Some people choose their home based on the location of the school. So let's talk about real estate. If you're going to buy or rent in Alabama, here are a few things you need to know before you sign on the dotted line. The following is from my personal experience and also a collection of conversations through research I've done around the city. Alabama is a buyer beware state, or caveat emptor, so the onus is on the buyer to do the research on your property or purchase prior to your very first offer. In the state of Alabama, appliances do not always convey with the sale or rental of your house. If you are shown the house with kitchen appliances and you want them, absolutely make sure you state this in your very first offer or ask for compensation for replacing them. Also, negotiate any cosmetic issues that you see prior to your first offer. For example, new paint, small home repairs, outlet covers, new outlets, garage door remote replacements. Yes, this has happened to us. Know what's included before the house inspection, because after the inspection takes place and the offer is given, it's much harder to get the seller to pony up for these items. Next, and this is a big one, home exemption. Home exemption in the state of Alabama is a tax exemption for new homeowners if they purchase and occupy their house prior to October 1st of the purchase year. It's critical that you apply for this exemption if you're the new homeowner. Your realtor cannot do it. You must physically go to your county tax assessor's office and file for the exemption prior to October 1st to qualify. Most new homeowners do this after their first mortgage payment. Just don't forget, otherwise it is a bunch of money if you forget to apply. The links are below for more information. Next, utilities. After you've purchased your home and you know your move-in date, plan to have your utilities turned on prior to your arrival. I do this a day or two before the moving trucks arrive, especially if you're moving in the summer. Having AC running a few days in Alabama prior to your arrival is super important. In Huntsville, to apply for Huntsville utilities, you'll need to make a $300 deposit to have your utilities turned on, and after a full month of occupancy, you'll get a $200 refund for that. Secondly, you'll also schedule your trash at the same time. This pickup is with the utility company, and everything can be found on the Huntsville Utilities website. Next is homeowners associations, or HOAs. There are some incredible communities here in Huntsville to live in, and they have some great amenities like walking trails, gyms, pools, fitness centers, and much more. Each HOA is different and have different rules and governances. You will definitely want to check them out prior to renting or purchasing. Most annual dues are for the club membership for amenities and property maintenance. These fees can range from $500 to $2,000 annually. We found them to be much more affordable than the DC area, and others have told me and commented that they are much more affordable than the Houston area too. Membership is not always mandatory, and also sometimes membership does convey with the property. Annual dues are typically the responsibility of the new homeowner or renter. Although sometimes rental properties include the club membership in the rental. If you're renting a house with HOA, this is a good question to ask prior to signing the lease. Next is the medical care. In my opinion, the medical care in Huntsville is good, but not great. When we left Huntsville in 2014 to move to Germany, Huntsville's medical care was great. As a military family, we didn't have trouble finding off-post care for pediatricians, dentists, orthodontists, or eye care. However, with the expansion in population, it has also stretched our medical community thin, too. It seems as if it just hasn't been able to catch up. After returning to Huntsville in 2019, it took us almost a year to find a general practitioner for our family, being put on a waiting list. If you're active duty, I'm pretty sure you can still receive care at Fox Army Clinic on Redstone. The links are below. Just verify this first before arriving. This is just a piece of the puzzle you will want to research before coming, especially if you have a condition that requires a specialty doctor. Our daughter has thyroid issues, and because of her age, there was not a pediatric endocrinologist in Huntsville, and we were referred to UAB in Birmingham, which was excellent care. It was just a little drive. Also, if you have family with mental health issues, finding care is also a challenge, but this is a worldwide dilemma and not just here in Huntsville. We had the similar challenge in Germany and Europe with just too few providers out there. There is also the insurance song and dance as well. Be sure to research your provider prior to booking an appointment to see if they even accept your insurance. You may have to wait 6 months for an appointment only to find out they don't accept your insurance. This sounds obvious, but not everyone accepts TRICARE despite being a heavily military town. Okay, next, internet. The internet in Huntsville is actually really good. After moving back here from Europe, my personal experience, we are much faster than many cities around Europe. Many. Not quite as good as Tallinn, Estonia, but not as bad as Lake Como, Italy. I've heard mixed reviews regarding the providers. We have Google Fiber, and I really like it. However, it is not available all over Huntsville yet, but continues to grow in our area. Their website indicates the coverage is expanding, and I find it very affordable at $70 a month for 5G and also 2 separate lines. Okay, now the fun stuff. You've got your house, the electricity is turned on, and your internet is plugged in. And now you want to explore Huntsville, so here you go. Are you a hiker, cyclist, runner, golfer? Maybe you love hockey. Yes, hockey in Alabama. There are so many recreational clubs for you to join, you won't know where to begin. So first up, hiking. I'm a huge hiker. I've been hiking since I was a little kid thanks to Mom and Dad. They just framed it as taking a walk in the woods. Huntsville and Madison are filled with some of the most beautiful trails, and thanks to trail angels like the Land Trust of North Alabama, there's so much for you to explore. There are over 75 miles of walking trails called the Greenways in Huntsville. This is a part of the Long Range City Planning Project. For more information, check out the links below or my blog with the same title, Moving to Huntsville. Next is cycling. Cycling in Huntsville is on the rise. Check out my friends with the Rocket City Bells. This group of gals plans weekly routes around the state and is organized to help support women of all cycling levels and to really get the community involved about needing more bike lanes and cycling education. You can join them for coffee too. Our running community is fantastic. If you're a runner, you will want to join the HTC or Huntsville Track Club. What a group. And I can't even remember the first time I met Suzanne and Dink Taylor. It was so many years ago. This dynamic duo is a critical part of our running community in Huntsville. The owners of Fleet Feet Huntsville, and now a new Madison location has opened up. They are not only small business owners, but true educators and really great people to know. Fleet Feet has training for every athlete level, from beginners to triathletes. Check out their website if you're interested in starting to run or joining a running community. Their team rocks. Next up, golfing. There are over 120 golf courses in Alabama, and the North Alabama Golf Trail is phenomenal. So here's a little information on the ones I know about. If you haven't heard yet, Alabama is home to over a dozen Robert Trent Jones golf courses, or we call it RTJ. And I'm married to one of those golfers, and one of our goals is to play all the RTJs as well as many others. Huntsville has a lot of courses too. So if you're moving here or retiring here and you love to golf or you want to start playing golf, well, you picked the right place. You can't go wrong with any of them. And for my military friends, there's also the Links Golf Course on Redstone Arsenal. So hockey. Yes, really, hockey. In Huntsville, there's a very active hockey community, and this is from my friend Debbie Berry, who's the executive director of the Fight Club Hockey Association. We started in February of 2010 as a group of rec league adults who were fed up with the ugly side of the local hockey league and wanted to relax and just play with and against people who just wanted to have fun and not take it all seriously. What we have evolved into is a beginning-to-end solution for anyone looking to try ice hockey, regardless of age or experience. The Fight Club Hockey Association is a nonprofit run by hockey players and coaches who are dedicated to bring the dream of playing hockey to anyone, young or old, and teach them that it's never too late to start something new. Our team of coaches range from ex-semi-pro players, ex-D1 college players, all the way to players who just started later in life, like you. Our coaches aren't just passionate about the game, they're excited about introducing the sport to new hockey adults and watching them evolve into rec league the right way. Come join our tight hockey community. A special thanks to the volunteer coaches out there, Darren Taylor, Troy Skinner, Jason Diggery, Brittany Mack, and Cassie Payne. Let's talk about the great brews and eateries of Huntsville. I'll be writing a blog on some of my favorites, so you'll want to sign up for my newsletter on the website so you don't miss an article. I love having so many opportunities to try new cuisines from entrepreneurs and restaurateurs all around the city. It feels like every week Huntsville's announcing a new eatery or small business opening up. Huntsville has over 24 microbreweries, and I have highlighted a few of them on my YouTube channel, so check out the link below for that playlist. Maybe you'll find a favorite or two. Not just beer and wine, but coffee shops and cafes are popping up all over the place. If you need a cup of Black Gold before starting your day, you'll enjoy the choices of the Craft Coffee Trail in Huntsville. More about that as well in the next article of this series. Okay, let's talk football. We're in Alabama after all. Football is real. Before moving here, you may have heard the joke about how big football is in Alabama. It's no joke. It's real. Be prepared to answer this question probably 1,000 times. Who do you go for? Well, that means Roll Tide University, Alabama, or War Eagle, Auburn University. It's part of the fabric of the state. Football fans delight when the season gets near, and it is all occupying during the fall. The new tailgating recipes every year will have your mouth watering with delight. You'll be amazed at what fits in a cooler and how often they are used. Did you know you could insulate both hot and cold? That was a game changer for me when we first moved here. For the not-so-football fan, this is the absolute best time to go shopping in Huntsville. Seriously, if you just take a look at the football schedule, you can find out when you can shop free of people at any grocery store. And it's extremely enjoyable experience. Okay, next, I'm making friends. Well, my main mission for Travel with Wendy is connection. I'm always hoping that what I do and share helps people find connection. Huntsville is a great place to make friends, but it's not always easy. After several conversations and doing some research, I can collectively say if you'd like to connect to our community, the best way to do this is to be a joiner of some kind. For instance, volunteering in any related field of interest is not only appreciated, but also an opportunity to meet like-minded people who share the same ideas and probably lifestyle. There are so many volunteer opportunities in Huntsville, I'm not sure where to begin. Plus, you'll feel so good about making our community a better place to live. Check out my blog for places I've worked in the past 20 years and places you might be interested in too. So if you're a mom and you want to connect, I can't recommend Rocket City Mom High enough. Check out them on Facebook. There is so much information and support for moms of all ages. Next, if you're a person of faith, church might be another place for you to connect or serve. With many denominations, from Protestant to Greek Orthodox, there is a place of worship here for you too. Being a military family, we have learned the art of plugging in, jumping in, whatever you want to call it. My experience has been that it does take time to build connections and true friendships, but all good things are this way, right? Keep trying because Huntsville is definitely worth it. I've only touched on a few highlights in this podcast for moving to Huntsville, and I hope I've given you some hope, inspiration, and food for thought. Please stay tuned as I share more information on my vlog channel and in this series. Like I said, I'll be touching on the restaurant scene that will include many of our food trucks, the arts and music scene, nightlife, farmers market, and much more. Thanks for joining me here for this preview. Please let me know if you have any other questions in the comments below. If I can answer it, I'll try. If not, I'll find somebody who can. Remember, it's always an adventure when you travel with Wendy.